everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you ever ask yourself what is a way that you can give a boost to your application, or if you ever wonder how you can stand out among so many candidates applying for the same job in fashion, especially if you don't have experience, in this video I'm going to share with you something that you can do and that you can add to your applications and have more chances of landing a job in fashion faster and quicker. And I'm talking about a portfolio. A portfolio is not just for fashion designers, so before you start saying, okay, but I don't want to become a designer, so a portfolio is normally a collection of sketches and mood boards and fabrics. That is not the reality. I mean, it's just a small part of the thing. You can build a portfolio even if you want to work in marketing, in PR, in buying, in styling, whatever job is that you want to get in fashion, you can have a portfolio associated to that. Because a portfolio is just a collection of work, of projects that are related to your career or the career that you want to pursue. The goal of a portfolio is to showcase your skills, so to showcase previous work. But even if you don't have already had any job or previous experience in the fashion industry, you can still build a portfolio. Let me tell you why. Most people just wait to have their first work experiences, internships, freelance projects, or a full-time job before building their own portfolio. But it's not the case. You can actually, and you should actually, build the portfolio even before you land your first internship, because it's actually this document that is going to give you more chances of landing the internship you're trying to get. So yes, once you're going to be inside the industry, your portfolio will then become a collection of real works, because then you would have the experience. But even before that, I highly recommend you to start building your portfolio with mock-up projects that you can just add to your portfolio to showcase to recruiters that you have the skills, that you have the knowledge, and most of all, is going to help you stand out from all of the other applicants, because the majority of people just apply for internships and jobs and just submitting a resume or CV. But if you add something extra, such as a portfolio, it is going to immediately give you more chances over the other candidates. And it's not just something that happened to me, but even like nowadays with the students that I mentor, like Karishma, for example, she was looking for a job in the fashion and beauty industry for 1 year and she couldn't find one. She enrolled in my course and she learned that she could add a portfolio to an application even if she didn't want to apply for fashion design roles. She built one, and within 2 months after enrolling, she finally got a job after so many months, actually 1 year trying. And just because of adding a portfolio to an application, and actually this didn't just help her get the job, but also get a raise from the salary that was advertised online. I always say that, recruiters are looking for something extra in your application, because there are so many people applying for so many jobs. They're not just looking for someone who is applying for many jobs just to get one job. They're looking for someone who is really passionate about that specific position and that specific brand. They're really looking for someone who can go above and beyond, and that you can be someone who thinks out of the box is to add the simple document to your applications. A portfolio can be a physical version, but in this case I'm referring to a PDF version that you can send alongside your CV and your cover letter, because nowadays all of the applications are going online, so you want to be able to submit this portfolio via the online application. So this means that you're going to put together this portfolio as a PDF. So in this video I'm going to give you some ideas of what are some 3 portfolio projects that you can do from home, because if you're still at the beginning of your career and you might want to build a portfolio, you might wonder if you need experience or where you're getting all of the preps, the material for the portfolio. But I've come up with portfolio ideas that you can just literally build from home, from your cozy bedroom, even if you're still a student, even if you are a recent graduate, even if you don't have experience or you have just a little experience in the fashion industry. You just need a laptop, you just need an internet connection, a lot of passion for fashion, which I'm sure you have, and a willingness to do the work. Remember, it really doesn't matter if these projects that you're adding now to your portfolio are not coming from a real experience, because recruiters are going to focus on the output, on the quality of your work. So if you can actually actually build a super professional portfolio. Even if you don't have experience, they're going to focus on that. And actually, if you're able to build a portfolio that mimic real industry projects, so a portfolio that represents a task that you would do, like if you were an intern, or if you were an assistant, or if you were already had a job in the industry, that is actually even more valuable from someone who really got that real experience. Because when a recruiter receives your portfolio and they see, okay, but this looks like a real project, like if she or he already worked in the industry, but then from your resume they see that you don't have that work experience, they're going to be even more impressed by the initiative, by the knowledge of where this girl or boy got this knowledge from. It is so specific, it is so insightful. So you have to be actually inside the fashion office. So the ideas that I'm giving to you today are actually these ideas that are going to help you mimic fashion industry scenarios so that you can showcase to recruiters that you already know your thing, you already are the one that they cannot wait to hire. So let's begin with the first one. You can build a trend mood board. This is best if you want to work as an editor, as a stylist, as a buyer, merchandiser, if you are an aspiring trend forecaster, for example. So imagine that you have to build a trend mood boards out of this past fashion week season. So you watch the runway shows, you analyze the collection, you try to spot a pattern, and you build a mood board made of runway looks, fabrics, colors, where you use this mood board to identify a specific trend that you spotted from the runway. So this is going to give recruiters an understanding of your skills in understanding, runway trends, trying to identify the trend and spot it, and also turn it into a cohesive mood board that is used professionally, internally, even by fashion professionals. So you can do so by just going online and looking at the runway shows and putting together this into a Canva project, and you have your trend mood boards ready in just a couple of hours after you analyze the show, you pick the trend you want to go with it, and then you put together this mood board. So the second project is a brand collaboration, PR strategy. If, for example, Miu Miu for New Balance. So you know that Miu Miu collaborates for New Balance for their sneakers. Now you imagine you're in charge of their next launch, and you have to create the bags for this new collaboration. So plan the announcement strategy, like for example, media, influencers to pitch, teaser, reveal phase, launch phase. Decide which media to pitch and how to create bags online. And you can also create this portfolio project where you can also add the product gifting strategy that you have, so you can coordinate this product gifting strategy and placement opportunities. So this is perfect if you want to work in PR, like I said, influencer marketing, digital marketing, marketing in general. And I shared a specific project here because the more specific you can be with your project, if you want to apply for a job with Miu Miu and you can send a project that is for Miu Miu, of course you're going to have even more chances of getting the job because it's a project that you're building for them. So the more specific you can be with your project, the better. The third project is to build your own mini fashion magazine. So the simplest version of this project would be to just write a fashion article. But if you want to go a little bit next pro level, but if you want to also have fun doing this, you can challenge yourself to build a mini magazine. This is perfect if you want to get a job at a fashion magazine, if you want to get into editorial, styling, even advertising at magazines. What I suggest to do is to put together a project where you're going to do a little bit of different steps of the magazine. So for example, you can put together a masthead, so decide who is going to be the team that with you is going to coordinate the magazine. So you can decide who is going to be the stylist, who is going to be the photographer, the creative director, the art director, the model. So you can actually put their real names from the industry. Then you can use AI to generate a cover. You can then add some articles inside, and you can put together a very nice magazine that you can do from home. You put together, you save it, you use Canva, you save it into a PDF, and your portfolio project is ready. Imagine you are the recruiter and I receive just a resume, and then I receive from someone else a resume plus one of these three portfolios. Which do you think that I'm going to be more impressed by and that I want to hear for a job interview? I want to hear from that girl or that guy who actually took extra time to build something that really looks like an industry project, so it shows shows me your skills, like presentation skills, your knowledge of the industry, because you had to do a lot of research to come up with all of the insight that you have to add inside your portfolio. You have to do a lot of research about the brand, also a lot of research about understanding how each of these concepts work in order to put it together a portfolio. But it's also like the idea of this portfolio project that is going to impress them. So as you can see, all of this can be done if you have just a laptop. You can just do all of these fun, beautiful projects from home. I'm sharing below a PDF guide where I'm sharing even more project ideas that you can do for fun from home to give a boost to your fashion job applications. I will leave you the link to download the free PDF guide into the description of this episode. So I really hope that this was helpful, that I gave you some insights and useful ideas for building your next portfolio projects. If you're looking for more tips on how to break into the fashion industry, check out my online courses below. Check the link in the description for all of my career resources. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.